Hey, what's up everybody? Casey here at Sea Run Flying Tackle, doing a new fly for you once again. We're going to do a little blob on a jig hook that I like to call Kent's Conundrum. Alright, so for this blob, I've taken an Ahrex FW555 in a size 12. That's their CZ mini jig barbless hook. And I fixed that into the jaws of the Renzetti vise. And to that I have added an OfishL 7/64 Chartreuse Tungsten jig bead. These guys have kind of two sides to it. There's like a dished kind of concave side to it, and then there's the outward convex side. You want that dished section over or butted up against the eye, and then that way the weight of this bead sits further over the point, or sorry, over the eye, making everything balance real nice in the water. Very simple to use. For tying thread, I'm going to use some UTC 140 in the Ultra thread in fluorescent pink. You can go with a little bit thinner thread if you like. I like to be able to pull on some of this material a little bit, like the slush jelly that I'm going to use in there. I find that having a little bit heavier thread's nice on something like this, you know, whether it's a 6/0 uni or a 140. You don't have to worry about bulk too much on this one, so it's not an issue going with the heavier thread. So we're going to tie that in. I'm just going to flip that bead so that it's orientated. It wants to sit with the heavy side down. I'm going to flip it so that it's poking up over the eye of the hook. And a couple of wraps of thread will hold it in place. If you want, you can push some lead wire or lead-free wire up against that. But we'll lay down a little bit of a thread base to tie on, and we'll start punching some stuff in. So for a tail on this, we're just going to use some Flashabou Mirage in the color Opal. And I got 4 or 5 strands here. Tie it in for a tail, and then I'll just double it up over itself. And we'll secure that into place with our thread. For the rear portion of the body on this fly, I'm going to use some F&F Slush Jelly in the color Biscuit. And if you've seen me tie with this stuff before, it's on a strung core like a chenille. So I'll pull some of that fluff off of the core to expose that thread and use that as a nice clean tie-in point. And I just like having a slightly heavier thread, like I said at the beginning there, for this application here, just to put a little bit of pressure on there. Make sure that everything is nice and secure. So with this color, I'm only going to do a wrap or two. This is going to kind of be like an accent color. And I think one's not quite enough. So this is almost going to be like 1.5 wraps, I guess. We'll tie off that slush jelly. And we'll just lock that down with our tying thread. The remainder of the body is just going to be some regular F&F jelly in the color Competition Pink. And again, I'll just expose that core a little bit. And we'll tie that in nice and secure, bringing our thread up to our bead. And then I'm going to palmer this, covering up the hook shank. And we'll tie that off right behind our tungsten bead there. Couple of wraps to secure everything in place. Quick little whip finish. Second one there for good luck. And you can apply your favorite head cement or UV cure from there to really lock everything down. I'm going to trim that tail off a little bit, and there you have a very effective little blob. So this guy, I have one that's wet here. You can see with that two-tone, it's going to look, so a wet fly like this isn't the most accurate representation of what a fly actually looks like when it's in the water. And when it's in the water, it will fluff out a little bit more like this. But what I'm trying to show you is how that little bit of that slush jelly kind of transitions into the body, giving you a little bit of translucency at the rear there, and it's a really nice effect. So if you don't have any blobs that are like this in your box yet, great opportunity to tie some up now. Like always, I'll have all the links for the materials posted in the description below. You can purchase them online, www.c-run.com. Come by the shop, we can pick out some colors for you, talk about some blobs, and get you tying. Hope you guys like that one. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you're not subscribed already. Watch out for more content that's coming your way, and thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you for the next one.